Be prepared for meditation, Mikel.
Ah, right, okay, all right.
Wow.
All right.
Wow.
Practicing his Reiki, the energy force that reduces the stress and anxiety, guys. So we shall see.
Listen,
it's a little bit of payback.
Yeah, definitely. I've got to say.
Can I just say that? I make that reference because I'm watching the game last week.
Yeah.
And I'd love your thoughts on it, stuff, right? I'm watching the game and I'm thinking, Arsenal have got Liverpool on toast here.
Mate, they had
45 minutes
on toast.
Mate, it was easy work. They were making it look relatively easy, and I thought this could be a bit of an hiding for Slots boys here. Something that we haven't seen so far this season.
Yeah.
And then that goal goes in just before half time to make it 2-1.
I'm still thinking this.
I'm still thinking the same thing. But they come out the second half with a completely different attitude, Sophie. And I just thought to myself, looking at that, thinking, why has he done that? He sent out the wrong message to those lads. Because they could have gone on and made a real statement against Liverpool, of which then does wonders for confidence going forward when you're chasing the title.
So this is a really interesting conversation, and I'd love to know Carlton's take on it being a player. Because when I've talked to David Hillier about this on our show, David's like, yes, a manager will send you out to be a little bit more defensive, but a manager doesn't necessarily send you out to completely park the bus. And when you're playing against a Liverpool team that have so much, talent up front, you're playing at home, you're missing Saliba at the back, you've got the 2-1, you know that Saka's going to have to come off at some point, Timber's going to have to come off at some point. I understand him being a little bit conservative, and I just think Liverpool played themselves much better into that game in the second half, and versus us completely parking the bus.
The Timber thing, he didn't know about the Timber thing, did he? The Timber thing happened in the second half.
No, I know, but I'm just saying.
No, but he wasn't going to play Timber the whole match.
No, he wasn't going to play. He wasn't down to play, nor was Saka to play the whole match. So what it was for me, I thought they'd done their job expertly, so they probably thought before the game, listen, we're going to control this game. We're at home. We know who we are, yeah? So they've gone out full of beans, full of confidence, yeah? So it gets to 2-0. They're thinking, this has gone superb. Then that one goal goes in. Then that kind of changes the whole equation now. Now, you're trying to think, should we attack more or should we stay back? Now they're caught in between a rock and what do they call it?
Rock and a hard place.
A rock and a hard place.
Let me ask you this.
Because they don't know. But
yeah, but what does Guardiola do then? What does he do?
No, but listen to this.
Yeah, but not everyone's Guardiola.
No, but listen.
Yeah, but that's how you
what
win
I'm
a
trying to say. But listen to this, yeah? As a player, when you're caught in between those things, yeah? Those two, like, you don't know whether to go or come, yeah?
Yeah.
You're kind of looking at it and you're thinking, I've got to make an executive decision here. And this is not whilst I'm on the pitch. So as soon as one of the leaders on that pitch goes defensive, they all go in defensive, especially the leader that does it. Do you know what I mean? And that is where managers can't do nothing about it because it's a feeling. Do you know what I mean? And that's where the winners are made. Winners are made in them scenarios there because they have to make an executive decision to say, we're going for it. And I just didn't see that.
Can I add, Carlton, as well, that when we conceded that second goal, Timber was off and Gabriel was off, and you were playing with a defence that hasn't really played with each other before. And look, I'm not the type of fan that makes excuses, but in big pressure situations and massive games against Liverpool, something like that can happen. And let's be fair, that breakaway goal from Liverpool, albeit we could have done a much better job defensively, was a really beautifully orchestrated goal.
It was.
And credit to them. Stevie Nicol on our show said last week that he wasn't happy how Liverpool had set up against Chelsea at Anfield. And he felt like that Arne Slot was playing way too defensive and way too conservative. There's so much at stake now in the Premier League. And the fact that we haven't started as well, we're kind of where we were last season, but we haven't played as well. I understand why Mikel went the way he did in the second half, but you also have to give Liverpool credit because they did play a lot better in that second half.
Yeah, I've got to agree to an extent, but I just still think the players need. You see, like when I've been in dressing rooms when we're going for the league, right? So when I was at Chelsea, and I used to hear at half time, if we was winning the game or losing the game, how we're going to go out. And mainly it's down to the players, because the players can read it. Mourinho didn't need to say that much. All he was saying, you lot play to your strengths. That's what it is. We've done all of the work already. Play to your strength. Because as soon as you start doing things you're not comfortable with, then a team like Liverpool or a team that's in that position that can take advantage will take advantage of you. And that's what happened. I saw it happen in mid-game. As soon as a couple of players, and they were weakened defensively just a bit, I saw they just caged up. And that's inviting pressure, and that's inviting the counter-attack, you know, and that's what happened in the end. It was just a psychological battle, a massive psychological battle that was won by Liverpool in the end, I think.
I think that's a fair assessment. You know, it's funny, Super Kev and I always used to argue a lot about this because he would always say, Sophie, it's the players. Once you cross that white line, the manager is absolutely powerless. And what I don't like what we've done, and I've spoken to you both about this before, the difference for Arsenal, we've got the talent, but the difference is the mentality, the engagement in the game from the first whistle to the last whistle. And what I haven't liked is that we have played decent football. We haven't played great football. I would argue that first half against Liverpool was probably some of the best football we've played this season. But we've also conceded, when we kind of feel like we're in control of the game, conceding that late goal to Manchester City at the Etihad, mentally lapse in that 1 second, conceding the goal to Liverpool, a mental lapse in the defence that allowed Liverpool to get back in the game and get that point. And, you know, in the last 5 Premier League matches, we've conceded 9 goals. We'd only conceded 10 in our first 22 matches last season.
Yeah.
So I don't know if, and again, I'm not making excuses, but the back line has been a little bit more vulnerable, and I think some of that has to do with what Odegaard brings to a match, where he's able to control the tempo, have time on the ball, gives the back line the opportunity to make adjustments. And I feel like that kind of tweaking that we've had to make because of injuries, Partey at right back I thought was great against Liverpool, but the controlling of the game, you know, in the second half, in the latter stages, I think we're seeing how much we're missing Odegaard as well.
Yeah, definitely. He's a massive
Listen, he's the best
player
player that you've got. He's a fantastic footballer.
Well, when he's on that pitch, I just know something's going to happen. Or even even for defensive structure, because he knows where to stand.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? And he knows how to affect the game when he's not even on the ball. So he's such a you look more vulnerable with him out of the team than, do you know what I mean? He's a proper player, really good player.
How are you going to set up tomorrow, do you think, or this weekend against Newcastle?
Well, we might park the spaceship this weekend and leave the bus.
I've never heard that one before.
Let's be honest, neither team has started the season particularly well. I think Newcastle has been very vulnerable. I think we have been the better side, but as we've seen in the last few matches that we've played, especially up at theirs, very physical, and it's not going to be easy.
What are you happy with then, Soph, tomorrow?
Well, you said you need points, and as Brucey used to say, points make prizes. I mean, 3 points. Our schedule coming up, we've got Inter in the Champions League on Wednesday. We've got Chelsea coming up. But then we've got Forest, who have been the surprise package so far this season, absolutely flying. And we've got Carlton's mob, West Ham, and then United. So you've got to take advantage of an out-of-form Newcastle team, albeit away from home. And, you know, despite the fact that, you know, you get Saliba back, okay, there's no Odegaard, but there's been enough games now, no excuses to know how to play without him. I think, you know, Marino's come into the team and done very, very well. Martinelli's finding his form again. I think the goal for Havertz midweek will give him more confidence, because I think he's been the player that's missed Odegaard the most out of anyone on the pitch. And if Timber's back, Saliba's back, you're going to have Partey at right back. who's been doing a brilliant job so far this season, probably hasn't been getting the flowers that he deserves. It's got to be 3 points. If you're talking about winning the Premier League,
Yeah, it
where
has
we
to be.
stumbled against Bournemouth, you know, that last minute goal against City, the conceding to Liverpool late. This is a must-win game for Arsenal.
I think you win it. I think you win it myself.
We'll find out at 12:30.
I think they win it, mate. I think they win it.
Enjoy the game. Thank you very much for your time, Sophie, as always.
Appreciate you,
Thank you,
boys.
Sophie.
Thank you for having
Take
me.
care. There you go. Sophie Nicolau there, giving up a bit of time.